Hello and welcome back. I'm your instructor Sunil, and in this lecture we are going to learn about the latest release, that is MongoDB 3.4.1. So we are going to see what are the changes, enhancement and deprecations came along with the new release 3.4.1. So many of my students from this course MongoDB from scratch were asking about what are the features that come along this release. So this is the lecture that I'm going to tell about all these things, and in this lecture I'll be telling the changes or enhancement or deprecation that came along with the new release, and in the separate lectures I'll be discussing in detail each one of them. So let's get started. So let's see, the first thing that I want to tell that came along with this release is the linearizable read concern. So what is this read concern? This linearizable read concern is a read concern label. So with this, when you query, when you read the data from MongoDB database, it will reflect all successful writes issued with a majority and acknowledged prior to start the read operation. So when you write the read command with the linearizable concern, it will give you all the data and it will wait for the acknowledgement, all the acknowledged write concern, all the data that has been acknowledged by MongoDB, that will come for this read operation. So we will see how it works in detail, and for this we use the milliseconds for this. So I'll tell you when I discuss in detail. The next one is we use the max time ms for this linearizable read concern. Okay, so next one is improved initial sync. So MongoDB 3.4.1 improves the performance of initial syncs by having an initial sync build index as the document are copied. So when you try to copy or write a document, what it will do, it will start building the indexes when documents are being copied. So in that way it will improve the initial sync. So it will start building the indexes as the documents are being copied. So we'll discuss this in detail as well. The next change that has come along with this MongoDB 3.4.1, that is decimal type data. So MongoDB has introduced a new data type, that is decimal type. So with this we can have a decimal of 128 format support, that is 34 decimal digits. Okay, that is significant digits I'm talking about, and the exponent range from the -61432 to +6144. Okay, so we will see how we can do that. So when we want to have the decimal or like 9.98 or point digits, we can have this number decimal, and we can have those decimal numbers in our document. So we'll see how we can do that in a lecture, separate lecture. It is similar to the double data type. Okay, and then the next thing is, in aggregation framework there are a lot of changes has been introduced in this release 3.4.1. so let's see one by one what are those aggregation changes. The first one is new aggregation stage for recursive search. So MongoDB has introduced the recursive search. So when you perform search, it will be like a recursive search on a collection. So it will do the search recursively, and for that they have introduced a stage, that is $graph lookup. So we can use this function graph lookup for this. So we'll see in detail. The next one is new aggregation stage for faceted search. For faceted search also allows for categorization of the documents into classification. So this will have the classification of the documents. Okay, so for this they have introduced the stage like bucket auto, facet, and sort by count. So these are the stages came with this. The next one is, we'll see all these stages in detail when we discuss this thing, new aggregation stage for faceted search. Okay, so don't worry, I'll tell you each and everything in detail in the coming lectures. The next one is new aggregation stages for facilitate reshaping documents. So what is this reshaping documents? In this reshaping document, we can add fields and we can replace the fields. We can modify and replace. So this has been added in the aggregation stage for facilitate reshaping document. Reshaping means adding new fields and modifying the existing field with the new one. Okay. For this they have a stage like add fields and replace root. Okay. The next one is new aggregation stage to count, and this will have the dollar count. This is simple. So it will count of number of documents into the stage. Okay, so it will give you the number of count. The next one is new aggregation for array operation. So it will have the in operation, array index of array, range, reverse array, reduce, and zip. We'll see in detail when we discuss. Okay, for now it is like reverse array, and the zip and reduce has been added to this functionality. The next one is new aggregation for string operators. So what is this string operators? Like index of bytes, index of OFCP, split, string length bytes, string length CP, substring byte, substring CP, all this has been added. We'll see each of these operations in detail when we discuss this new aggregation string operators. Okay, so for now you should know that these are the changes that came along with the 3.4.1. The next one is new aggregation flow control flow expression, that is switch case. So switch case is also there in the new aggregation control flow expression that we'll see. Okay, and we'll see all this with the example. Okay, the next one is new date aggregation operator. So now for date there are so many functions stages came, that is ISO date of week, day of week, ISO week, year, and these functions will give you the day of week, is of week, and which week of the year. So we'll see in detail with an example when we discuss in detail in the separate lecture. The next one is new monitoring aggregation source, that is called star. What it will do, call stat, it will return statics for collection or a view. For collection it will give you the statistics like how many of read operation, write operation, all those details we can get. So we will see in detail when we discuss. The next one is new type operator came. So this dollar type stage has been introduced. This will return a string which specify the BSON type of the argument. So it will give you the BSON type of argument. So when you use dollar type, it will give you the type of the argument which has been used. The next is additional changes. So this dollar project stage adds support for field exclusion in the output document. So earlier when we were like querying or projecting a collection, we were getting all the things. We can only exclude the underscore ID field in the stage, but now we can exclusion of a field or fields. We can have many fields excluded from the search results. Okay, so this is the new thing that we'll see in detail with an example. The next one is collation and case sensitive indexes. So to allow for language specific rules for string comparison, MongoDB 3.4.1 introduces the collation for language query and indexes. Collation, what is collation? Collation allows users to specify language specific rules for string comparison, such as rules for letter case and accent mark. So this thing we will see in detail when we discuss. For this collation and case insensitive indexes, we can have the command like create and create will have the create collection and create view, and like we can have the create indexes or aggregate like db.collection.aggregate. We can have the find and modify, we can have the map, reduce, delete. We'll see all these things, how we can achieve these case insensitive indexes in our MongoDB querying, and all those things in detail when we discuss in detail this thing. The next thing is view. So now MongoDB 3.4.1 have the support for creating read-only views from existing collections and other views. So if you have a view or a collection, you can create a read-only views from the existing collections and the views. That is a good thing. So we can run the command and we can create the view. We will see how we can do that. We can do this by using the db.run command, and then inside that we can give create colon view, and then we can give the view on the particular source, like which collection you want to create a view, and we can specify other things as well. So we'll see how we can create the view. The next thing is the security enhancement. Now MongoDB has moved to transition to authentication or transition to auth. So now MongoDB supports for rolling transition to internal authentication for replica sets and sharded clusters. So we'll see this when we see the replica sets and sharded clusters, which we have not touched in this course yet. I'm planning to do lectures on that. So when we do, we will see this also in detail. The next thing is MongoDB tools. MongoDB has introduced a new tool, that is Mongo Replay. So what is Mongo Replay? Mongo Replay, a workload capture and analysis tool that replaces Mongo Snip. So they have introduced Mongo Replay, but they have replaces Mongo Snip with the Mongo Replay. So now Mongo Replay is there and Mongo Snip is removed. So now we can use the Mongo Replay to inspect and record commands sent to a Mongo instance. So we'll see how we can use the Mongo Replay as well. And the next thing is one of my student in this course, he asked about, he informed me actually that auto index ID has been deprecated from this 3.4.1 version. So that is true, and now auto index ID has been, now auto index ID has been removed from, not removed, it has been deprecated since 3.2 versions. So now it is deprecated. Auto index ID is deprecated from the 3.4.1 versions onward. And earlier this auto index ID, the D was in capitals, now it is in small. So now it is auto index ID with D small, and it is also deprecated. Okay, so this is the enhancement and changes and deprecations came along with the latest MongoDB stable release, that is 3.4.1, and I'm going to give individual lectures for each of these changes and deprecations, and we'll understand how these things like aggregation and this linearizable read concern, initial sync, decimal type, how all these changes works in 3.4.1. So stay tuned to this course, and I will update with the new lectures soon. So thanks for watching, and if you have any question, you can ask in the question inside the course, and I'll be happy to answer all your questions and queries. Thank you. Hello and welcome back. This is Sunil, your instructor for this course, and in this lecture we are going to learn about MongoDB 3.6, which is the latest release from MongoDB. So MongoDB 3.6 support will be provided in this course. So you need not to worry whenever new MongoDB release is coming up. This course will be updated as per the new releases coming from MongoDB. So latest one is MongoDB 3.6. So in this lecture, we will discuss what are the key changes and what are the key benefits we are going to have with MongoDB 3.6. You can see here on the website mongodb.com, where you can see it is saying that move at the speed of your data, go faster with MongoDB 3.6. So the main purpose of MongoDB 3.6 release is faster speed, the speed you retrieve the data, the speed on which you store the data, and at the speed on which you analyze the data. So with this 3.6, they have tried to enhance all these three aspects of speed. So with the MongoDB 3.6, you will have the better and more performance from the MongoDB database. So let's see what are the main changes we can see in MongoDB 3.6. In the latter lectures, we will also see how to install MongoDB 3.6 as well. We already have lectures on how to install 3.4 or 3.0 versions of MongoDB. We will also add lectures on how to install MongoDB 3.6 if you want. So let's see what are the benefits and changes we have in MongoDB 3.6. So I have taken these changes, taken these points from the MongoDB website itself. So what are the key changes we have in MongoDB 3.6? The first one is change in streams to build reactive and real-time applications. We will see in detail each changes, how it is going to affect we as a developer or a database administrators, or as an enterprise if we are going to have the MongoDB as our database infrastructure. So the way we used to build the application, it is going to change with the new MongoDB. We'll see how. And the second change is retriable writes. Means suppose you are trying to write something and it failed, you can retry the same write with the same query and it will be written. And it means we can retry the writes if it failed. That means it is always on write availability. Means your data will be always available to be written. Okay, so we'll see how this is possible as well. The third change is schema validation with JSON schema for new data governance control. We'll also see how it is going to accommodate the JSON schema which is coming newly in the technology, JSON technology. We'll also see how we can validate those JSON schema. The fourth change is fully expressive array updates to perform complex array manipulations in single atomic update operation. It means suppose we have an array of data and we want to update whole array, how we can do that with a single query, with a single update command, how we can do that. So that thing is also added, that functionality or that schema, that query or that way is also updated in MongoDB 3.6, where we need not to go and update each and every array elements individually. We can perform a single atomic update operation and all the array will be updated. We will see this also in detail. The next change is Compass community, providing a new GUI alternative to Mongo Shell. So it will be also supporting the Compass community to perform the new GUI. We'll see how we can do this also if possible. And then there is also enhancement for richer lookup. So how we perform the join operations and all, that is also been improving in each MongoDB updates. 3.4 also was having some updates on the richer lookup, or how we can look up the data for join operations, and 3.6 is having more updates. We have new security controls as well. We have end-to-end compression to create efficient and distributed architecture in a much larger enterprises where we have much distributed systems, and how we can efficiently control and create the data, how we can compress the data end-to-end for a better security controls. We have the R drivers, recommended R drivers for data scientists and statisticians for better data analysis and all. If you are having a MongoDB as your database infrastructure, so it will support R in a better way now with the MongoDB 3.6. It is also having the enhancement to operations managers like BI connector or MongoDB Atlas managed database services. That is also, I'm going to add a new section on the MongoDB Atlas managed database services very soon. So stay with this course. Next thing is key benefits of this MongoDB 3.6 update. There are 3 key benefits that MongoDB listed on their website. That is speed to develop, how we can speedily develop applications based on MongoDB. That is how we can change the streams, retrieval rights, enable consistency. Our Compass community helped developers to move faster, and how we can update the expressivity, how we can express the whatever we want to do in a better query language. So that is the greater query and update expressivity that it provides, and in that way we can move to speed to develop. We can speed up the development process with the MongoDB 3.6. Next thing is speed to scale. Scalability is one of the key controls in MongoDB, one of the key benefit of MongoDB, because we can scale up the database, we can scale up the infrastructure with MongoDB with ease, and that's what MongoDB 3.6 will take to the next level. The next one is speed to insight. As earlier we discussed about, it will provide the recommended R drivers for data scientists and statisticians. So it will provide more driver and more community support to the R scientists, so that they can do more analysis and they can get better insight from the data with a better enhanced speed. So the speed of development, speed of scalability, and speed of insight is the key benefit of MongoDB 3.6 updates. So I hope you like this video and you have the better understanding why MongoDB 3.6 update is good and why it has been implemented. In the next lecture, we will see how we can download 3.6 and how we can install it on our system. So see you inside the next lecture. Thank you for watching.